Joined now by Todd Knott, the associate head coach of the Minnesota State men's hockey team. Todd, it's been 10 days since the Mavericks have played, and a good series before this break off last weekend. Your comments on the last time MSU played, and what have you been up to with your team the last 10 days or so?
You know what? First of all, the Bowling Green series, just really excited. I guess our depth probably more than anything. We had a couple guys out with Wiedemott. Keto Hiroshi didn't make the trip. So it was an ugly win on Friday. I thought Dryden McKay stepped up and was our best player over the second half of that game. But it's one of those weekends we knew it was going to be difficult. You got to give credit to Ty and Bowling Green. I thought we got their A game on Friday night, played extremely well, and then followed that up with the win on Saturday night. And again, Dryden pitching a shutout, which he's been doing for 4 years for us. So extremely good weekend in terms of guys stepping up. And you got a guy like Bellini who's only played a couple games, and he got in and played some good minutes. So excited for some of those guys. And then hometown hero Brendan Furry. I didn't realize how impactful that was for him and how close the hometown was. But the first goal of the game on Friday night, I looked up in the whole left-hand section, and when he scored, jumped up, and it was purple and gold. So we actually had some people in the building. So that was very neat for him and great for him to have success in that building. Ever since then, on coming back, it's been maintenance with those guys with some bumps and bruises. We've taken some time off, got back after it this week, and got a healthy lineup as of right now.
All right, thanks for that. We have questions for Todd. Kevin Dudley.
Todd, obviously Coach Hastings and Nathan have been away representing their country and in your program. Just talk about, I know it didn't end the way that they had hoped, but talk about what it means to have, them do what they did for both, your program and university.
Extremely prideful, our whole team, the amount of times we heard Minnesota State over the course of those 4 games, whether it was Coach Hastings or it was Smith, his family. Was pretty neat. The one night they actually had the phone call with a mom on the call on her cell phone saying, hey, I'm going to Beijing. So that was special, I thought, and unbelievable for our university and our hockey program.
Cole, do you have a question?
Yeah, obviously an entire week off allows for a lot of adjustments to be made coming out of that Bowling Green series. What has the team been looking to improve on this week to prepare for Bemidji?
You know what? It really is maintenance. There's not a lot of changes going on in an off week. More than anything, it's getting healthy, bumps and bruises. But with that being said, you can't just take 5 days off and expect to get back rolling. So we had a very up-tempo Monday. I've liked our Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of this week so far. And again, it's a fine line because you want time off, but you don't want to lose that edge that we've been playing with. And so it's a little bit of a balance for a coaching staff on, hey, are we doing enough? Are we doing too much? And we fight ourselves every single year when we go through those off weeks. And you hope you have the right mix, and we'll find out on Friday.
Kevin, do you have another question?
Todd, senior weekend this weekend, obviously a big class. I know every time you bring in a class, you always would like to think that this class is capable of bringing your program to a new level. And I think that this one really has. Maybe just talk about the impact that this class has made on your program as a whole.
It's been incredible. And it's a little unique because you have a couple 5-year guys in Reggie Lutz, Jack McNeely, who have done a ton for our program, both on and off the ice. And you talk leadership and our captain, Wiedemott, the things he's brought, Julian Napravnik, Dryden McKay, Benton Mass, who just came in for 1 year. I want to make sure I'm not missing anybody right now, which I know I am. But it's been an unbelievable group. We actually had Friends of Maverick Hockey last week to kind of celebrate that group, and even some things I didn't know about them. Each one of them had an opportunity to step up and talk in front of them, kind of how they got to Mankato and how their 4 years have been. And what an incredible group. And again, not just on the ice, the things they've done academically, what they've done within the community. I don't use this comment very often, but I maybe once a year I'll say, yeah, let that person date my daughter when it comes to the hockey team. That's a group of young men that anytime could date my 14-year-old daughter.
Andy
Carroll. I appreciate you bringing that up because Andy Carroll's been a huge piece of us from day one his freshman year. So very good group in depth. When you talk defensively, you got power play guys, you got shutdown guys, leadership, Julian Napravnik, who's very gifted offensively. You've got an unbelievable group, and there's a reason we've won a lot of games the last 4 and 5 years.
Follow-up question, Kev.
Just Reggie and Jack, I wanted to maybe ask a little more about them. I know that it was a unique situation with what the COVID year afforded them the opportunity to do, and they both, took the chance to come back and did it. And I think that there's just been times from a leadership perspective, you've just seen the importance. I think back early to that series at UMass, some of the games Jack has played, the massive minutes, one at Lake State stands out when you guys were up against it there. Just talk about from a leadership standpoint what those two have provided this year.
Most importantly for guys like that, the consistency they play with. There hasn't been off nights, and it's been incredible for both of them when you bring those two guys up, the entire senior class, but specifically Reggie Lutz and Jack McNeely. I can't think of 2 games where I think back and, hey, really struggled. Reggie's been banged up a little bit here or there, but when you can count on 50-year guys, and sometimes that can go the other way. They get comfortable. They get tired of hearing our voices, which happens at times. I haven't seen that with those two guys, and that's special because, again, by example, now you're freshmen, you're sophomores, they're looking at 5-year guys doing it every single day. They've got to follow suit.
Cole, do you have a question? Kev, do you have another question?
Todd, you kind of referenced this earlier, but Akito Hirose, I know that he didn't play in either game at Bowling Green. Has he been able to skate this week? Can you say anything about his availability?
He has. He's been with us the last 2 weeks, and he will be ready to play on Friday.
Another question, Kev, if you have one. Cole, do you have a question?
Yeah. You talked about USA Hockey a little bit before. Do you know when those guys are getting back, and if they are getting back?
I had the conversation with Coach this morning. It's so new for them, and you never really plan for the negative as a coach. You try to keep positive thoughts. So I don't think there was much going on in their minds that, hey, if we lose this, you try to keep those thoughts out of your mind, and then the game happens. And now they're trying to figure that out with USA Hockey. So right now, I really don't have any idea, hoping to know more within the next 24 hours.
Final question for Todd Knott, if you have one.
Todd, in terms of the McNaughton Cup clinching scenarios, I don't know if you're someone who looks at those a lot, or if you want to to kind of keep your guys' minds away from those. How do you kind of approach that, ahead of a weekend like this?
You know what? I've had my fill of it for the week. I can tell you that, because in coach speak, you try to keep your focus on just day at a time. And I don't mean that just this week. Coach Hastings and our philosophy with our group, we've got enough to tackle in just one day. And I'll take it back to the Bowling Green week. If you want to talk about a crazy week of going from coming in here Monday, coach is gone. All of a sudden they say they're going to get 20 inches of snow. So we going to fly out Thursday. We end up busing out Tuesday. White-Amott ends up being under the weather. You're losing guys as the trip's going on. So we truly mean it. I know that's dry, but it is one day at a time. And right now the focus of our group, and why I think they've been special up till this point, is one, handling success, and then keeping that very short window of let's worry about today.
Last question, if you have one. Yeah, Kev. Oh, you're good? Okay. All right. Thanks, Todd. Good luck this weekend.
Thanks, guys.
Yep.
Soccer.
Joined now by senior goaltender Dryden McKay. Dryden, it's you're coming off a 2-game road sweep at Bowling Green, and you had some time off here. Tell us a little bit of what you've been up to. Tell us about the Bowling Green series, and then what you guys have been up to for the last little while with off weekend.
Yeah, Bowling Green series was really good. Without Coach Hastings, without Nathan Smith, we had some guys step up, and everybody played a part in some tough environments, and it was a really good team effort both nights, and 6 huge points.
How about the last few days? What have you guys been doing getting ready for Bemidji State here this weekend?
Yeah, we were able to take a little bit of time off after that series, and kind of let our bodies heal a little bit and kind of recharge. And now we've been focused on Bemidji and doing what we need to do to be as ready as we can for Friday night.
Kevin Dudley, you have a question for Dryden McKay.
Dryden, seeing Coach Hastings and Nathan represent your program and your school and your country, just this past week, maybe talk about what that's meant to you.
Yeah, it's been really cool. I'm really happy for those guys. Once in a lifetime experience for sure. And, hopefully they enjoyed every second of it. And unfortunately it didn't go their way last night, but really cool being able to watch and have Minnesota State represented over there in Beijing. And I'm just really happy for them that they were able to take advantage of that opportunity. And I thought Smitty played really well. And I'm sure Hastings had a big part in everything.
Cole, do you have a question for Dryden McKay?
Yeah, obviously you're looking at what's in front of you from the net, but you played Bemidji earlier this season, seen what they're capable of. What do you think of that team and how they play, and what do you hope to accomplish strategically this weekend?
Yeah, Bemidji is always a really tough team. All 4 years I've been here, it's never been an easy game. Their power play is really good this year, so we got to be ready for that. And they've got some really good offensive talent, and they're really solid on the back end. So we got to be ready right away on Friday. They're coming off an off weekend as well, so it's going to be who's the most ready right off the bat.
Kevin, do you have another question for Dryden McKay?
Dryden, I know that these games turn into seasons and the seasons go quick, but you're a senior here. You're looking at your final 2 regular season home games. Maybe talk about, have you taken some time to reflect at all on that, and how special will it be this weekend to kind of have some time to reflect on the career?
Yeah, it's gonna be really cool. It's definitely a little bittersweet, but it's gonna be really nice to have all my family and some friends here, and same with all the other seniors to kind of have that time to look back, but also know that we still have a lot to accomplish this year. And we're hoping that these aren't the last 2 games we play in this building, but it'll be really cool to kind of get the recognition and to share that with our families for sure.
Another question, Kevin, if you have one.
Dryden, when you look back at this, in this class, you've got, yourself and Wyatt and Andy and Jack being a 5th-year guy. I mean, some of the defensive numbers as a team you guys have put up in terms of, goals allowed per game. I think you've led the country 3 years in a row. Maybe just talk about looking back on something like that as a class, and have you thought about that and just what you guys have been able to accomplish as a unit defensively?
Yeah, it's been really special. I've definitely been blessed since I stepped foot on this campus to have a solid D-core and overall solid defensive systems from the top down every year. And it really helped me kind of find my legs in college hockey personally. And really proud of Wyatt, especially. He's come a long way, and he's a huge leader, especially defensively on this team the last 2 years. And Jack's been a rock back there all 5 years. So really cool to see the numbers that we've put up, but just knowing what we still have left to accomplish here is exciting.
Final question for Dryden McKay, if either of you guys have one. Okay, well, good. Thanks, Dryden. Good luck this weekend.
Thanks, guys.
Good.